Hi, everyone, and welcome to the last of the webinars for the year. Uh, these webinars, as you are fully aware, everyone has been sharing them. We've had a huge amount of fun throughout the year, following on with what's been going on with AI, how to use it, what's new. Um, However, because this is the last one and we've got an hour and a half together, what I want to do is change it up a little bit. I want to go through all the new updates, what's available for you to use now. I want to go through how to use it, what to use it for. You'll obviously work out what to use it for yourself much better than I can. But then on top of that, I want you to think about what are the questions you've always wanted answered, and just how do I do this, or what about this. Write them in the chat box, and then for the last sort of 30 minutes I will try and answer any question you have with a live demonstration of how to do that. We've got a huge amount of updates to go through and a huge amount of different things. So let's jump straight into obviously the famous updates. Let's go straight to ChatGPT because, well, it's had the most updates. The election is over. They've all been holding off, and now they are feeding out the new updates as fast as we've ever seen. So yesterday, uh, 4.0 got an update. It's more intelligent. It's winning all the different awards in the different arenas again. It's better at creative writing. And the big challenge against the other large language models like Claude was that it wasn't so good at writing. And now they seem to have resolved that. So first off, the very first thing is the big advanced reasoning one. So this is O1. As you drop the model down, you can go to O1, and O1 is not like any other large language model. O1 is what's called a chain of thought. And chain of thought, essentially what we have is when we look at the way these work, uh, most large language models, they have this pre-training. Pre-training is simple. They've gone out, they've captured all the information, whether it's libraries, TV channels, radio channels, whatever it may be. They've compressed it all, and then they're trained it. And that's the training there in the gray. Now, post-training is where the humans get involved. We ask it questions, it gives us 20 answers, and we score those answers on which are most correct. And then once it's had that, this inference is thinking. We ask it a question, it goes to find the answer and gives us the solution. It's very little inference or thinking involved. The new O1, its code name was Strawberry. Same amount of training, same amount of post-training. But when you ask it a question now, it takes time to think and it goes through the reasoning of anything you might ask. So this way, the results for it have been outstanding. What we now have, these are the O1 improvement. So in math, for instance, it went from 60 to 94. When we look at the SAT math, it's now saturated environment. When we look at these things for things like physics and biology, it just increases right across the board, and not small increases, big increases. So when we start using this in things like legal, you'll find now it's able to do legal math. I've divided this amount of land because of these reasons in this divorce case, and the dog wants 8% of that. And now it's able to then ratify through and think its way through different challenges. So if we ask it a quick question, we can then say, let's give it a challenge. Why do I exist? Well, it's certainly not to spell, that's for sure. Let's have a look. Why do I exhibit? That'll do. Let's ask it that. And then you see it's got its thinking going on. And it takes time. It tries to address the question. It's deciphering the motivation. And then it will actually give you a thoughtful reply. And this is how it's now getting to that level of PhD. So in previous models, because of the way it worked, it meant that it would hallucinate or errors. And not only would it make the errors, but we could minimize those, and it wasn't very creative. Now, GPT-o1, the chain of thought model, is very different, to the point where this is the OpenAI's ChatGPT's parent company's CFO talking about o1. Now, I've cut it
If you
down. It was
look at
from
the
a
value,
Bloomberg.
when we were rolling out O1, our reasoning model, and this is a model that stops and thinks for you. It actually does hard problems. I was watching a lawyer in action using it to create a brief. And at the end, we said to him, what would you have paid for that? Like if you had a paralegal doing that, he was like easily $1,000 to $2,000 per hour. And this is someone who's using it, if it's an enterprise per seat, it's probably $60 per month. And this is someone who would have paid $1,000 to $2,000 per hour. So I think that there's a lot of value that is in the product today.
And the reason we're saying this and seeing this one come to the front is because it's still a preview, but very, very shortly, this model will become the leading model. It will become the one that we use on the daily basis, because its ability to self-reflect and its ability to reason or think through a challenge is scaling. And it means that it's becoming that much more intelligent. So we've gone from 4.0, which is a really good general model and still super advanced, to essentially having a PhD graduate in every single topic sat by your side that you can ask a question of. And at the moment, unfortunately, we can't have it, we can't attach files, it can't generate images, it can't search the web, it can't do all those things, it's just text. However, by the time we come back from Christmas break, well, it's going to be the main model. So we're getting used to now using o1 and its chain of thought. The next thing we have when we go on to GPT is it now has a writing tool dedicated to writing. So if we go through to o4 with Canvas, this allows you to collaborate and work on writing and coding. So if you switch to Canvas, you can then say, let's write a white paper on AI and its uses in associations in Australia. So simple enough. We hit enter now, and what it will do is it will immediately change the format of your screen. And this now has a much bigger context window. So the context window means it knows it's able to give you a longer range or longer form of reply before it forgets the initial question. So now you can see straight away, harnessing the power of AI, transform this uses, introduction, role. Now, what we then have is, rather than reworking this every single time and having it just as in the chat form, what we now have is an edit form. So on the left-hand side, this is how we give it our instructions. But on the right-hand side, we have some new tools. Now, the first tool I've never used, add emojis. Okay, if you want to. Then the most popular one is, really, you can now drop your text in from anywhere and then have it suggest edits. And those edits come across just as they would in Word or anything else. And it's go, consider adding a brief introductory summarizing. Okay, I like that. I'll apply this. And then it rewrites just that section for me. And then you can go through and, well, I don't want the other things. So once I've got then my edit review done, I could then say, do I want it to be shorter? Do I want it to be longer? If I go to the longest, then it will then start writing this to give it that much more detail and give it that much more character around its structure. And now it will go up to 8,000 words if we really want it to. I mean, this will now write a genuinely long paper. And as we come through, you'll see it's finishing. It's, would you like me to areas that you'd like me to focus on? And it starts asking you how you want to do this. So once I've got that, I can then say, well, from there, I want the reading level rather than to be at, the standard default GPT level, because now I've got a PhD or a PhD equivalent. I can now go to high school, college, or graduate. And then I can change the reading level now to that higher graduate level. So for business insights, for technical memberships, for technical financial engineering, whatever you need the technicality in, it's able now to write at that more high level. And then once it's finished this, I should have done the short one, shouldn't I, rather than use the longest one it's got. You can then say, well, I've got it to the point where I like it. So now all I need you to do is add the final polish. And then when you add the final polish, it'll make it pretty and give it the point where you can, I say, make it pretty, but it hasn't given me what I want. Here we are. I want the headers to be more prominent. I want it laid out better. That's more like it. And then from there, you can obviously either copy this or say, give this to me as a downloadable Word document. And once it's finished doing its editing and making it all pretty, you can then say, give this to me as a Word document. And now it'll switch on its document analysis tool, and that will then work through, and you'll see a downloadable document appear just here, download file. And now I can open that up in Word, which of course opens up on the wrong screen, but it's all formatted and it's all ready for me to do whatever I want to do with it. So we've now got the ability to really have it as a genuine, useful writing tool. And it'll proofread for you, it'll do the edits for you, it'll do all those sorts of things. So that's Canvas. Now, where I want to go now is if I just go back to GPT, these are the models. Realistically, the main one for the biggest upgrade it's just got is its ability to search the web. So now you can click the thing that says search the web, and you can say today's news in Australia. And then suddenly, here we go, here's today's news. And what it also does is it gives us at the end of these, I've really got to stop asking it so general things, all the links through to each of those. And then when I click the sources, there's all the sources come through from where it's done the search. If I say now, leaving the search on, show me Brisbane. And now what it will actually do is show me the images, all the key attractions, the recent developments that are going on. And then once again, I can see where it gets the sources from. So now it has the ability to do really quick, really quick searches. I'm quite concerned about Google, because if I want just a quick answer, I can just hit search, the search comes in, and then when I turn search off, I can use the content I've just searched in a document, in a newsletter, in a way, and then I can manipulate that to do anything. Can you then get the pictures to look professional, i.e. Canva and images, etc.? Yeah, I mean, if you then bring these images through, you can then use these images, but these are just web images. What's the difference between this search and Google? Quite honestly, the main thing is Google has been for years getting worse and worse and worse. You ask it a question, and of course, you've got the sponsored content. And then from the sponsored content, you then get 64 million results because, well, that's how it's paid. When you ask the search on here a question, you can then have it give you just the correct answer. Sorry, Emma's asked, I meant the images into a Word doc. So it looks, at the moment, you can't submit the images within GPT, but we are going to be going on to how to generate amazing images shortly. So hold tight there, Emma. We've got all because at the moment, the image creation on GPT, it's been improved. I still don't think it's good enough. It's things like, let's say, create an image of a poodle sitting on the couch. So that'll go off and generate the image. I mean, it's been improved. I just don't think it's as good as it needs to be. Rachel says she finds the GPT more useful. Understand your random stream of conscious. That's awesome. So when we have a look at the images on GPT now, you can see it's still obviously an illustration. It's just not lifelike. I mean, it's good. It's really good. We can say all kinds, but it's not photographic quality. And we can, however, there's lots of tools that allow us to do this. So now we've got these kind of tools done. What we also have is now, if you go to the login, you'll see download ChatGPT apps. Now, if I close this off, my app sits just here. And now I don't have to go onto the web. I actually have an app. But I use this app differently. I use it in a range of different ways simply because, well, we know what's coming. We know that when you look at the way the apps were showed to us in spring, this is the app here, just sits on the side. And then what he does is he hits a button that says start broadcast. And then when he starts the broadcast, that's screen sharing. He's then sharing his screen with GPT and GPT can see what he's doing. And then once he's shared it, he then gives GPT an instruction.
Here with my son, and I'd love you to tutor him on this math problem, but don't give him the answer. You can ask questions and nudge him in the right direction, but I really want to make sure he understands it himself. And he's here in the room, so you can talk to him directly.
Of course, I'd be happy to help. Let's look at the problem together. Can you first identify which sides of the triangle are the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse relative to angle alpha?
All right, so I'm pretty sure this is the angle alpha right here, right?
Perfect. That's correct. Now, looking at the triangle, which side do you think is the hypotenuse? Remember
Really,
the hypotenuse?
I'm not totally sure. I think it might be this one, but I really am not sure. This side AC.
You're close. Actually, side.
So you can see here where they're going. What they're going to do is give this app the ability to see your screen. Now, we know that's coming. However, what they've already done is given us the ability to engage with this in a range of ways. But the most incredible one is using your voice. You wait for it to turn blue. Good morning.
Hey, Jules. Good morning. How can I help you today?
Well, we're live at the moment on the webinar to all the association leaders in Australia. Do you want to say hi?
Hello, everyone. It's fantastic to be here with you all. I'm ChatGPT, and I'm ready to dive into the world of AI with you. Let's make this session both enlightening and enjoyable.
Awesome. So I think everyone's here from Australia or New Zealand. So can you put your best Ocker Aussie accent on for me?
Rada, Jules. G'day, everyone. How you going? It's a real beaut to be here with all you legends from Australia and New Zealand. Let's get cracking and have a ripper of the time with AI, eh?
Yeah, sounds good. I forgot to mention that most people here are Italian. So can you try that again?
Certo, Jules. Buongiorno a tutti. È un vero piacere essere qui con voi, amici dall'Australia e dalla Nuova Zelanda. Prepariamoci per una sessione fantastica e piena di scoperte sull'IA.
That sounds awesome. So can you go back to your main voice, but this time, could you be
Absolutely, Jules.
could you
Back to my
be
regular...
Mary Poppins for me?
Of course, Jules. In my best Mary Poppins voice, how may I assist you today?
Well, we're trying to work out how best to engage association CEOs with AI. And my thought would be, let's say the scenario is they're going to a meeting and they're not sure who they're meeting with or what about. Well, they probably know what it is, but they then can hit the button and talk to you on their phone and say, tell me everything about Woolworths in Australia.
That's a jolly good idea, Jules. AI can be an invaluable assistant in such scenarios. With a simple voice command, an association CEO could instantly access a wealth of information about Woolworths in Australia. This could include details about their business operations, recent news, key executives, and even insights into their market strategy. It's like having your own personal research assistant ready to brief you at a moment's notice.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Jules. If you need anything else, just let me know.
So we can see now that already they have this app set up for both the PC and the Mac. So you can download this today. It sits there. It also sits on your phone, so you can press it on your phone and you could say on your phone, hey, I'm speaking to someone who only speaks Italian, or insert language here. I only speak English. So when you hear English, translate it into Italian. When you hear Italian, translate it back into English for me. And now you've got simultaneous translation at your fingertips on your phone. And of course, it will capture the entire conversation and give you your meeting minutes and then give you your action points and then produce any of the emails that you need produced from that meeting before you even get back to your computer. So these kind of abilities now to be super useful are what's called agentic behavior, so agents. Now, AI is named badly, just really badly, because it's named by uber geeks. And those geeks, what they do is they don't understand marketing. So the word agent is, you're going to hear a huge amount. Let me show you an agent. This is what OpenAI literally launched 3 days ago. Now, this chap is the head of Europe for OpenAI, and he's going to show how ChatGPT 4o can use different applications on his laptop.
I'm Romain from OpenAI. Today, I want to show you a quick look at an early feature in the ChatGPT app for macOS, the ability to work directly with the applications on your computer.
Now, these are the applications he's going to show. So he's going to show coding apps. He's going to show Terminal. He's going to show Xcode. He's going to show these different things. Keep in mind, the very next thing will be Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and then you're talking to your ChatGPT and it's controlling the computer for you.
So imagine I'm building an iPhone app and I have my Xcode project open here. Previously, I would have had to copy my code back and forth from Xcode into ChatGPT. Well, now with this new integration that I enabled,
So when we look at the integrations, we can see he has a new button appear. Ours looks like this at the moment. So if I just open my thing, you'll see we have the attach, we have the, so this is Mac, this is PC. And so he has the attach button, the search the web, but then he has the new one. And then he can say, enable this. Well, this is what we'll have by the time we get back in January, at the end of January, but we'll have Word, PowerPoint, Excel.
I can click the Xcode button here and ChatGPT can immediately see the Swift code I'm working on. Check out this example. So OpenAI O1 first created this entire app from scratch to track the ISS and astronauts in space in real time. But say I want to add a new feature to this app. I can simply write, add a new screen in the center with the live stream. Now ChatGPT has the context about my existing Swift code and starts suggesting the changes. That's done, so I can just jump back in and update the code. Let's build the app. Let's Command R. Great. It's pretty cool. The live stream is right there with even a fancy icon for it. And I could keep on going.
We can see where they're going with this. And when I say where they're going, literally the code has been inserted into GPT-4 this morning. So they just need to switch this on. So we're talking days or a couple of weeks. Now, not to be outdone, what's now happened is we have people already coming through and producing the codes and the agents. One of my favorites is Claude. And Claude is the other large language model. And Claude. So this is Sam from Claude. And what he has is, so Claude, rather than, they've gone a slightly different way, and they're all going to go this way. What he now has the ability to do is say to Claude, I want you to do this thing, and it will use the computer the way we use it. It will move the mouse, it will type the text, do the search, and then it will start applying things. So here we are.
We're going to be going through a quick demo today. In this fictional demo, a customer, in this case the Ant Equipment Company, has come to us and asked us to fill out a vendor request form. The data I need to fill out this form is scattered in various places on my computer.
So here we are. Your customers come to you and said, I need some details about X. And you've gone in and basically said, find these details for this customer and send it to them.
So what we're going to do is ask Claude to look at the spreadsheet, check if Ant Equipment is in there, and if not, move over to.
So it's going to interact with his CRM, his Excel, and his Outlook.
The CRM and try and find some more information there. Once it has this data, Claude's going to then fill out the form for us and hopefully transfer the information across to the vendor form. The first thing that's going to happen is Claude's going to start taking screenshots of my screen and quickly realizes that the Ant Equipment Company isn't actually in the spreadsheet. So the first thing it does is it swaps over to a CRM and searches for the company we're interested in.
And this is it just using the laptop or computer the way we use it.
Luckily, we get a search match and Claude then starts scrolling through the page looking for all the information it needs to fill out this form. Claude then autonomously starts transferring the information across without me having to do anything. And goes through the steps and fills out all the information needed.
So I thought this was pretty cool and I loved it. So we trialed this and sure enough, it's live now. You can go into Claude in the back end and literally start having your computer used by the Claude AI right now. And then I was looking through, well, who's using this? And the best case I found is H Company. H Company have decided to, so they've got a public beta. You can go to H Company and join right now. And the instruction here is apply for jobs that match my CV. So it then scans the web for job companies and job sites. It's obviously found LinkedIn in this case. It reads through every job application, reviews them. And now it's found the ones that you're right for. It then populates all the details, writes the covering letters, and fills out the forms. So it applied for 22 jobs autonomously. So now we can see with the voice control, that voice control now means that you'll be able to talk to your computer and tell it what you want it to do. So you'll be able to do obviously the research in your membership organization of the database. Find me the members most likely to leave us in 2025, explain to me why, and then write an email to them encouraging them to rejoin. Find me any anomalies in the accounting package we have and highlight why there's something odd with them. I want to go to this restaurant this afternoon, book me an Uber. So this ability for AI to start using your computer in the way we use it does away for all these integrations where you're trying to get one piece of software talk to another. No, we've just got an AI that uses the mouse and types the same way as we do. Nadia has a question. I have a question about data breach issues using AI personal data in our CRM or spreadsheet. Do you want to break that down a piece? Because if you're using, sorry, I think I've got it. Essentially, when you're using AI, and if you're a government authority, then you have some strict what you can and can't do. However, these days, when you look at something like GPT, if you go into GPT and go to your name, and under your name, if you go to settings, and then under settings, if we go to data controls, you can then just turn off its training. So this content to be used to train our models, you just turn it off. And then that way, none of your content will be used to train on. It won't store that. It's then encrypted on the front end in transfer and at rest. So essentially, it's identical to having Enterprise Edition. The same can't be said for Meta or Google. None of those have the ability to be turned off. So do choose which AI you use wisely. There are currently 17,000 AI tools out there. The key is to make sure that they're not being trained on your data. It's very easy in GPT to turn that off. It's very easy in Claude to turn that off. On the others, it's not so easy. So do be careful on which one you use. Otherwise, you're absolutely fine to use it on. It's going to become commonplace. So when we're having a look at this, let's have then a look at another use case for an agent. This is our
7.
So this is literally a driver. And now, because of the voice, we've all seen when we look at something like Air, this is Air, and Air is a outbound call AI.
Hey, James.
I'm not interested, man.
Yeah, no worries. I hate calls out of the blue too. But I'm actually from Apple, and I saw you were checking out Vision Pro and were about to pre-order but left the page.
Dude, I
was curious, what
right
had you looking into potential? Okay, I can respect that. Can I just ask one question before you go?
So as we know, you've seen me talk to it. It's very capable at having conversations, and it'll have a long, long conversation. That voice now has the ability to manage your field staff. And in this case, this is a haulage staff.
7.
Let me check. One freight. Do you see a reference number for that load?
There's no reference number.
What's the link?
Groveport, Ohio to
Origin
Fremont.
and destination cities or states?
Groveport, Ohio to Fremont, Ohio.
Let me pull it up. That load's just been covered. Can I help you find another one?
Are you AI?
Yes, I am. Can I help you find another load?
Nah, let me speak to the broker.
I'll transfer you to someone who can help.
And that's how it's being used in real life today. We're already seeing that being used in a range of organizations here in Australia. Lots of the different banks are using that very same system. Bronwyn asks, how do you turn it off learning your data on GPT-4? I was told I need Teams. No, you don't. This is GPT, And if I show you the 3 of them, so this is my personal account, a standard $20 account. You go to settings, you go to data controls, and you just turn off the model for everyone. If you turn it on, it will train on all the data in your chats, and all that data will be used to train the new models. So turn that off. Now, if I go to the Teams account, so this is my GPT team account, you'll find that under the settings on the team account, same thing, data control. The difference here is it's locked. It's automatically disabled. And then if you go into an enterprise account, you know, one of the full bore monster accounts, you'll find that when you go down to the settings in enterprise, same thing, data controls, and into here, GPT Enterprise automatically disables training. Of course they have to, otherwise businesses simply wouldn't use them. The idea that it's going to train on your data and all these things, and now is a couple of years old. It's just, it sells headlines, and it's always had, it's had that switch on there for over a year to be able to turn off, and you can just turn it off super easily these days, and then it won't train on any of your information. So you can see, and even actually, I don't know about the free version. Nadia's asked about the free. I really don't know, unfortunately. But same thing. Go into your name, check the thing, and I would love to know if you do find out. Have a look for me. So here we've now seen the first automation come through. H company, the haulage company, GPT, we know has got it coming through. We've seen Claude. However, then what we have to do is think about, oh, you can turn it off in the free version. I've just found that. That's awesome. So now we've seen that type of thing. What about some use cases for that? One of my favorite use cases is podcasts, because podcasts take forever to make. They just take for ages. And what we have now is Notebook LM. This is Notebook LM. It's free. You then just log in, and then when you log in, you can create new. And when you create new, you can then give it any sources you want, whether it's from your Google Drive, links, websites, YouTube, just copied paste. So if I go to my website and say SMS online, there's my website. And if I go to SMS, here we are, new era, all the different things. So it sits there. So if I copy that website, and now I'm literally going to drop it in to the URL and click insert, you can now see I've put one of 50 sources I can put in. Now, once I've put the sources in, however many websites, however many YouTubes, whatever you want, you know, just drop in PDFs and audio, whatever information you want. You then drop that in, and then once you've got them all, you click the cross. That now has created your notebook. And it can create frequently asked questions, study guides. So if I get a briefing doc made, and then if I get a study guide made, so while it's thinking about those, what we now have is an AI. So it's very fast today. So here's the briefing doc, main themes. So strategic membership. Let's get rid of that one. I want the this one first. So there's the briefing doc. It's come up: AI technology, evolving membership, strategic planning, understanding. So it gives you the entire thing. And then here's the study guide. So it then says, well, look, here's the questions and here's the answers, and the essay questions, glossary of terms, all from the information. But now you have the ability for an audio overview, and you can customize this. So you can say, what would you like your podcast to be based around? So you can say, focus on SMS Belinda rather than Julian, or focus on membership rather than AI, or whatever you want the focus of that podcast to actually drill down on within your content. Now, when you've done that, you just click generate, and that takes a few minutes. However, in true fashion, here's one I made earlier. So same thing, strategic membership solutions, my website, and it's a web page expert from the home that showcases strategic membership solutions. And then what it does is produce this.
All right. So today we are going to take a deep dive into this organization, Strategic Membership Solutions.
Okay.
And I know, we've both been kind of looking at their website, trying to get a feel for what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And, maybe you're even thinking about,
Yeah, working with them.
Yeah, working with them, partnering with them, or something.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff I saw on their website really, caught my eye.
Like what?
Well, they talk about practical AI solutions, for example.
Oh, interesting.
And then they have this thing about chatbot uprising.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, so...
And so Rachel asks, she found it a bit biased, took a wrong angle. So that's now why we're able to do that steering. So you get to put the information in, and you get to actually choose it's what you want the focus to be on. So when you click these, or let's get rid of that. When you go to your different thing, you can actually have it talk around. So I was trying to get it to actually talk about it being its own AI.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into AI.
Okay.
But with a totally different spin.
Right.
We've gotten all these snippets you guys have sent in.
Yeah.
And they're about, get this, AI reflections on being AI.
It's kind of wild, right? We're always trying to figure out how we see AI.
Right.
But this is AI trying to figure out.
So now you can generate your podcasts very, very fast about any topic you want in any form with any focus now, because that customization piece allows you then to drop in any of the angles you want it to talk about. So imagine how many PDFs you have right now on your website, customer facing or member facing. And imagine how many of those might be technical that could really help some of the new members or the non-technical amongst them to understand that. You can actually set, you want it to talk at what level, about what focus, and you just drop your PDF in and you've generated a podcast for it. Then upload the podcast to Spotify. Create your own weekly podcast in moments. Talk about engaging with non-members and members alike. You can then have you could have a podcast a day at this point. It's that straightforward. And, have your own deep dive. I really like this because it's now getting to the point where you're able to engage with members and non-members really easy in a range of ways we've not properly done for a long time. And it's been because it's been too cost prohibitive. Now, one of my favorite ones I've come across recently to be used, and you'll see why. So first off, this is me. I should point out, look, I'm doing lots of random movement, and you'll see why I say that. This is Pickle.
As you can see, I'm currently participating in a Zoom call. But what if I tell you that I'm actually not in front of the camera right now? And this is an AI-generated live stream that moves in sync with my voice. Pickle generates real-time video of talking to you based on your audio inputs, which can be streamed directly to Zoom.
So essentially, now what we have is a AI tool that you download called Pickle, and you record yourself sat in front of your camera, and it's Black Mirror. It has got a bit of Black Mirror going on. However, how many times have you been in Zoom or team meetings and the person's been in the car? Just recently, it seems to be really popular. How many times have they not been able to be as present as maybe they needed to be? You essentially download this software, you record yourself as you're talking here on the camera, and then all you do is you start the software, and when Zoom or Teams asks which camera to use, you choose Pickle. And then you appear in front of the camera. And as you're talking, it manipulates the voice perfectly, and it manipulates the lips as if you're there.
As you can see, I'm currently participating in a Zoom call. But what if I tell you that I'm actually not in front of the cam right now?
And it's amazing. It's really, really, really good. And it's very easy to see why these things are becoming more and more popular. And well, like I say, how many times have they been in cars coming through? That brings me neatly to one of the big updates, which is avatars. So with the avatars, funny enough, I'm in the wrong thing. That's not me. This is me. So this is Hey Jen. Now, I made a quick one this morning I want you to have a look at. This is an avatar.
No.
Now, this is essentially one of their standard avatars. The difference is you no longer have to have them looking at a desk, or even with a single camera view.
AI avatar created using HeyGen's new Avatar 3.0 with unlimited looks. In just the past year, AI video technology has made incredible leaps forward. What you're witnessing is the future of digital content creation at scale. You know how making videos used to be a huge hassle? Well, that's changing fast. This new AI stuff is pretty mind-blowing. It's like having a whole film studio at your fingertips, but without all the fuss. So, here's the cool part. With this unlimited looks thing, you can switch up how your AI character looks super easily. Want them in a suit? Done. Casual Friday vibes? No, for grown-ups, and change the whole vibe. Different poses, camera angles, you name
different
it.
camera angles.
It's pretty
They don't
wild
have
how
to look at the
flexible it
camera,
is.
or you can have them
For
look
work,
at the camera.
or it's a real-time save time.
Clearly.
So whether you're into
And
marketing,
they can be wearing
teaching, or
any
just
clothes in any setting, and you don't have to use their templated ones. If I run through really quickly how to do this, essentially this is Hey Jen. Now, when you create an avatar, you can choose if you want to do, so let's say avatar video. I'm going to say landscape. And then when it comes through, you get to choose which avatar. So if I want to choose myself, then I can add looks. So, and the looks I can add are different camera angles, different whatever I want to choose. So once I've got me in there, I can then add a script, whatever I want to say, I would then say it in my voice. So this is, welcome to the new era of video generation with HeyGen. Simply type your script to get started. Welcome to the new era of video creation with HeyGen. Simply type your script to get started. So it will say it in any voice. I don't have to use my own voice. I can choose any voice. I could be Anna.
Hello, this is how I sound. Hope you like it.
Or I could be Isabella.
Hello, this is how I sound. Hope you like it.
Or I could speak in any other language in the world. And then once you've got that, you can put your elements in. So if you want to put TikToks, videos, whatever you want in, it will then save that. And you will then, if I go to my projects, you'll see very quickly if I want to, this is me as a promoting a conference that I was speaking at, and you can see, hi, I'm Julian's clone. Hi, I'm Julian's clone. Yes, you heard that right. I'm Julian's AI twin. Julian will be speaking at the More Australia conference. So it's very good at that. However, what it also does is allow me to use my own voice, but in any language.
在中西求到闪耀，高尔夫管理协会是梦想，培养领导者，建立网络，每篇学习为每个俱乐部。
So you can see now when you've got that, that's essentially me just recording myself and using my video as an avatar. But if I want to then say, well, that's the video avatar, you literally record yourself, it trains on you, and you are now, you're able to choose. But photo avatar is different. With a photo avatar, you can create your own. So we can click generate, give it a name. Once you've given it a name, you can choose what age, what gender, ethnicity, and then you go on to describe it and the orientation, and then you click generate. Now I wanted to make an Aussie, a typical Aussie. So it came through and it gave me, so I chose her. And that way I thought, wow, that's as Aussie as you get. But then I had it do a video with her talking. So literally create a video. Look at her eyes. It went weird. It went a bit stabby, like, oh dear. She was quite intense. So I thought, well, I like the very Australian look. Give me my avatar now. And literally all I said was, give me my avatar in front of Uluru wearing green shirt, blue jeans and brown boots. And then it generated these photos. That was the one I liked most. So I thought, right, when you open it up, you can add motion. When you add motion, it then gave me this. And it did this. So now I can then generate a video with any script I want with my avatar in front of Uluru talking about anything I want. So then I thought, well, let's put her in a business dress. So this way I thought, well, she looks best here. And then I add motion, and sure enough, this is what we got. And it looks much more realistic here. So from there, I thought, well, the best thing I can do to see how this works is to give it an example. And what better way than if she was in front of a convention center to say, well, look, here's Melbourne's convention center. Let's get some audio on here.
A huge welcome to all of our association delegates. Welcome to Melbourne Conference Center, where meetings come to life and associations are valued.
And I thought that was quite cool. So then I thought, oh, could I tell the difference? Could I actually tell if it was real if, for instance, I had it in a different language?
Un grand accueil à tous nos délégués d'associations. Bienvenue au centre de conférence de Melbourne, où les réunions prennent vie et les associations sont valorisées.
So you can see now, essentially, you go into avatars and you choose either photo or video. Video is where you record yourself. Photo is where you can generate anyone on any shape, size, orientation you want, in whether it's portrait or landscape, and you can have them wearing any clothes in any place in the world. And then you can have them talk about any topic you want. So avatars have come a huge distance to the point now we're going to start seeing avatars deliver newsreels. We're going to start seeing avatars deliver conference updates. Why are we still even sending newsletters when you can have your avatar talk the newsletter? It's going to become commonplace because you can apply your brand kit. And once you've applied your brand kit, they will wear your colors in your office, do anything you like. So with this in mind, let me see what questions we got. Nadia asked, how do you add, when you add yourself, you either add yourself as a video or a photo and just add motion to the photo. So Julian, do you need to subscribe to Pickle? HeyGen, or are they plugins to paid version of GPT-4? No, GPT-4 is a standalone thing by OpenAI. HeyGen is a separate subscription, and Pickle is another separate subscription. HeyGen has a range of pricing. I wonder if we can see their subscription. No, that's my subscription. So I spend, oh no, I'm not spending 79. What am I spending? Here we are. And so you get a free version where you can generate 3 videos a month up to 3 minutes at 720p. Or you get a creator at 29, unlimited videos up to 5 minutes long at HD. Or you can go on to the team one where you can choose how many people in your organization have access, up to 30-minute videos, HD and unlimited. And then you get interactive avatars. Now, interactive avatars are coming through. I don't normally show them just yet because they're not quite good enough. Here's the interactive avatar. So now what you can do is you can say what knowledge, so you can upload your PDFs and give it the knowledge you want it to talk on. And this is me, of course. And then once it loads through, you can then have a conversation with your avatar in live real time. And that way you'll see, funny enough, you're about to see my video come up here. Hello. Hey, how are you?
Hey there, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How's your business going?
Yeah,
Any
really
specific
well.
challenges or goals?
We're trying to work out how to have interactive avatars answer member questions.
That sounds exciting. Are you looking?
Yeah, still not quite good enough. Hey, so however, what it's going to do, we can see again already that the future is once you've got your avatar, you can then send it to Zoom, send it to a Zoom meeting, send it to a Teams meeting, and then it can answer most of the questions in that meeting for you. Say you close your offices at 5 p.m. and no one's in the office till 8:30 a.m. So overnight, if members want to know anything, they can literally hit the Zoom button and have a conversation with your avatar. And it can probably answer 80 to 90% of the questions for them. So it's that kind of 24/7 interaction that's coming through. So let's have a really quick look with what's going on in the realms of image generation. And so Nadia asked, sorry, how does it know the answers to the 80 questions? To the 80% of questions. Essentially, on all of these tools, they tend to work the same, Nadia. What you do is you just take your PDFs. So if I went to SMS Online, and this is my website. So you go to your own website, and let's say all of these are different blog updates. So you have all this content. Essentially, I just put all these PDFs into the knowledge bank of the avatar. I then go into the services, copy all the text, put that in, all the resources, copy all of it, drop that in, and then the about us, copy it and pull it in, and how to contact us, copy it and pull it in. And then that way, once it has all that information, if anyone was to ask anything about me, how I work, what I do, all that type of thing, it would be able to answer it because you've given it that information. So now, yeah, training them isn't hard. It really is just putting the PDFs and websites and things in. So when we look at image generation, let's have a look at K-Ling, because K-Ling is always an interesting one. So the first thing we'll do is go to AI images. Now, AI images, when you look at the image, my eldest son was coming through and he wanted a picture of a Pomeranian for something to do on school. So when we look at the images here, you can see we can now generate very, very lifelike images to the point where it's hard to even know if those people are real or not. So you can go through all these sorts of things, and you literally make me an image of a woman sat in the coffee shop looking directly at the camera, give her purple hair, and then it generates the image. The thing about K-Ling is it's typically a video generator. So you can then open up the image and you can say bring to life. And then when you bring to life, it will then switch you into image to video. Now, that image to video is literally what do you want her to do. So bring her to life, and you have her blinking and using hand gestures. It takes about 10 minutes, but just as you saw with the thing, now you get the image and it suddenly brings it to life. My favorite example of this is something we had for, I got asked to go and show this to India. So just an image. Let me just get that image sorted. And then if I put this side by side, we can just pull that up. And so now we've got the image, to which you then put image to video, and then you say, bring this to life. Have her blinking, have her smiling, and use hand gestures while looking at the camera. You hit enter. And now the AI turns your image into what looks like real life. You then give whatever image you have an Insta account, a Facebook account, and now you've just got yourself an ambassador for whatever your latest advocacy is, or whatever you would like it to do. If we look at some of the more creative bits and bobs, if we take him, we've generated an image and said, make it look like he's singing. You then go, well, I'd like to lip sync this. And then it goes, what do you want to lip sync? It identifies the face, it identifies the voice. And now, what would you like to sync? So would you like to upload audio? And then when you upload the audio, it then lip syncs the video to the audio.
Can't hold it in with looks like this. Where do I begin? Flip my hair, strike a pose and you'll see.
And then once it's able to do that, you can then take any video and have it do the same thing.
Flip my hair, strike a pose and you'll see. It's hard to be humble when you're as beautiful as me. Looks like.
So now, of course, what that now means is you have the ability to then create whole videos. If we look at this one, so currently it's got 144,000 views, and it's exactly what we just saw.
Oh, it's tough that someone's got a day.
And if I just go through.
Dance, dance, can't hold it in. With looks like this, where do I begin? Flip my hair, strike.
So now what we have is the ability for you to create any video of any ambassador about any topic, and it costs maybe $20 a month, and you can put that then into Insta, YouTube, on your website. You can have interactive avatars having conversations with your members when you're not available. We can have it answer phones. We can have it make outbound phone calls. All these types of things are becoming so common now that when we start looking at who's using them, the names are massive. The best thing I could show right now is just how big names like Coca-Cola are using video. And this is Coke. So Coke every year do their big advert. And this year, this is from yesterday. This year, what they've done is make it all in AI.
Holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming. 'Tis the season, watch out, look around, something's coming to town, something magical in the night. Can you see it shining bright? Always Coca-Cola, holidays refreshments, what we bring. 'Tis the season, it's always a real thing. Holidays are coming. Oh, have you seen it yet? Holidays are coming, 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 holidays are coming.
And Emma just won best comment of the session for the last. So not the real thing. In fact, absolutely not real in any way, sense or form. However, what we're seeing is massive early adoption. When someone like Coke saves themselves, 20, $30 million from making a video and is able to get so many out so quickly, people are going to follow. When we look at what GPT are doing, they're about to launch Sora. Sora's their video. Now, this is the best example. This is a service where if we go to GPT a moment and we look at their OpenAI, and it's not what I want. I want to see. This is Sora. And so Sora is essentially you type a text in. So a stylish woman walks down the Tokyo Field Street, warm glow. And that's where you can see I got the idea for the music video from. And then all of these, you just type the text and it produces a video. What they did is just release this. So advertising and promotional videos that used to be out of our reach because they were too expensive are now firmly within our reach. And all we have to do is use natural language and tell it what we want and it will generate it for us. Rachel's put a link in for one that Bremworth in New Zealand did an AI ad. So there's been a very fast update. And before we go to the questions, so do have your questions ready. Any question you have, like I say, this is the last webinar this year. So any questions you have, pop them in and I'll show you what the most incredible updates have been to date. This is my favorite. It came out last week. Now, we know that when you look on your phone, if we go to GPT on our phone, we can then hit the button. Good morning.
Hey, Jules, how's your day shaping up?
Really good. I'm just using you as a demonstration of how we can now give robots intelligence.
That's fantastic, Jules. I'm ready to show off my smarts. What's the first thing you'd like to demonstrate?
So now we have that in our pocket, and we know that we are about to be able to just turn on the video. And by turning on the video, I mean so it understands its surroundings. The best way of showing that is this.
Is the king in residence at the moment?
This is a blind guy. Oh,
Is
and
the
that's
king
me
in
hitting
residence
twice.
at the moment?
Yes, it looks like the king is in residence right now.
So you can see he's got the microphone ready for here, and he's turned the camera on. That camera can then be used.
I even know when a taxi is coming with its orange light on. I think I'll hail it to get home.
Yes, I spotted one just now. It's heading your way on the left side of the road. Get ready to wave it down.
So typically what we now have is when you turn the camera on, it knows its surroundings and it can tell you what it's seeing. With that in mind, what we now have is the ability to upload that type of thing directly into robots. And the robots now have GPT inside them. This is where they've been testing them. And this is all autonomous. This, I want you to do this. So it has to be accurate, it has to be precise, it has to be able to put, millimeter perfection on those spikes. It's got reliability increase, it's got speed increase. When we look through all this side of things. Now, what we also have, of course, is when we look at robots, their ability to interact with us, and the only one we've actually got showing interaction is this. So this is from March, and you'll see the first voice powered by OpenAI. You'll see the first voice interaction.
Hey, Figure One, what do you see right now?
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great, can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
So if it can now do that, and since March, it then went from that very slow engagement to what we're seeing here, where now they can do thousands of repetitive cycles. What that has meant is we got this update from Elon Musk.
But fundamentally, at scale, the Optimus robot, you should be able to buy an Optimus robot for, I think, probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term. So, and what can it do? It'll basically do anything you want. So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids. It can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks, whatever you can think of, it will do. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. I think this will be the biggest product ever of any kind. Yeah.
So from there, we then had Neo arrive. This is Neo. Neo's designed to be a home assistant. So same as Optimus, is designed to clean your house, pack your dishwasher, unpack the dishwasher, bring the groceries in, mow the lawns, walk the dogs, make the beds. vacuum polish. Neo gets launched this year. So next month, you will be able to buy Neo. The Figure 2 that you saw at the BMW plant gets launched early to middle part of next year, and Optimus is pretty close behind. So within the next 6 months, you're going to see androids walking around doing work. That's where we're at from there now. So with that in mind, let's answer some questions. I'm going to take this off the screen because even I find a dead-faced ninja a little disconcerting. Let's just call that up and see the questions. So first question is Rachel. I'm on an Android phone. I can access voice conversation, but it doesn't seem to have full functionality, i.e. It's on but not able to access. No. So the voice functionality is only just coming out of beta. So at the moment you can talk to it, but you can't actually ask it to search the web for you or see your screen. That's the next step. That's what we know. The code went in this week, so we know the big announcement is due in the next 10 days. And the announcement will be, your voice can now search the web, your voice can now do all those other things that GPT-4o could do. Emma asks, starting from almost base level, what are your recommendations to learn to do things like integrations on membership growth attrition? What I would love is to know which particular companies of our association do which verticals of health software, e.g. 135 companies, each with different disciplines, allied health, radiology, hospital, telehealth. How could we get them to do that? Well, let's have a look. So easiest way I would do this is I would go to GPT because I know my GPT is locked down. And so one last time, settings, data controls, make sure that's turned off. That's the biggest thing. Once that's turned off, well, I can now attach files from my computer, from OneDrive, from SharePoint, from Google Drive, whatever I want to do. So if I update, excuse the medical, I do a lot of work across different things. Here's a membership database, just a dummy member database. I can then say, tell me about this. And it can now read that database. Once it's read the database, we can then say, well, let's have a look. I should have opened the database first. So the uploaded file contains these things. Read all the sheets, just in case it hasn't read all the different pages on the database. It's always good to remember to say, read all the pages, read all the sheets, whichever it has. So awesome. So it's loaded all the different sheets. Now, I can then say which member are most likely to leave us next year. To determine which members are most likely to leave, I can analyze the database and it will go through these different things. However, what you could do, Emma, is upload your database of the 135 companies and say, I want you to segment these 135 by discipline, i.e. allied health, radiology, payments. And then I want you to search the web and grade them in order of turnover, size and scale within Australia. And then what I want you to do is give me recommendations on each of them on why they're a member, what's in it for them and what they get from that. And essentially, think of it as if you're trying to tell your PhD graduate student sat beside you what you want done. I always think of that as the absolute easiest way to instruct AI. as if, and I know it sounds weird, but as if you're talking to a human. And as if you're talking to a human who started their job today. Yes, it knows the entire world's knowledge. Yes, it's got all these different things, but it's still pretty dumb. And it doesn't know, we've got to get better at communicating. And the easiest way to get better is to talk to it. And then you can do all the different things you want it to do. And as you can see, it's going through, it's inspecting columns to correct columns and things. So realistically, it's really about learning how to talk to it. Don't get hung up on prompting. Prompting very quickly is about to be a nonsense because it's getting more and more intelligent all the time and knowing what you want. Just get used to talking to it. Get used to treating it as a PhD graduate student that sits beside you, that you're asking it to do something for you. From there, it's just understanding you can attach any file. It can read any sort of file structure, and it can search the web and the combination between them. That will absolutely get you from ground zero, Emma, quite quickly. Rachel asks, my next question is similar to Emma's. Can you use GPT to scrape the net for information about potential members or other things? Look, there's a real scrape, like a genuine, proper scrape. You use a thing called Browse. So Browse AI has already built all the tools. You don't have to start building these things anymore. Essentially, what you can now do is go to pre-built robots. They've really got to get these names sorted. They're just bots. They're bots that will go and scrape the information. I'm going to sneeze. I just don't know when. Now it would appear. Okay, so data extraction, monitoring, it will extract all the data from any website and populate the, oh, thank you, Nadia, and populate that into a spreadsheet. It can then monitor websites. So if there's been any change, let's say it's car sales or what is it, realestate.com or something like that. You might want to monitor for any new things coming on, and it can monitor them and then update your spreadsheet. And essentially, it's already got the bots there. You just have to choose what sites you want to scrape or what those sites are made from, you know, like WordPress or something. There you are, there's WordPress. And then if it's from Word, you can extract results from any WordPress site simply by clicking on these. And all you need to say is what you want to search for, and then it will go off and do that. If you're just looking to search the web, it's interesting. The new search. I need new members for Plastics New Zealand. Search the web and find me new members that are suitable. And off it goes. All right, so let's now see where it comes back. Here's our new members. Let's say, give me 50 more. And then once it gives us 50 more, here we go. Let's drill down into all these different ones. Right, well, it's got them. Let's have a look at our sources. So let's find who it is. PPL Plastic Solutions. Who are we? Contact. Based in Hamilton. I'm sure they're probably already your members. Let's say I like PPL. I like PPL Plastics. Who do I speak with? And then it gives you the phone number. and the address for each one. So it looks like you could do that. You can then say, turn all these listed companies into a spreadsheet. And you see how I'm talking to it, which is, exactly the same as I would for having a new starter with me. However, I think I've broken it now because I've compiled the information. The company's enabled due to an error. Yeah, it's doing the update. So let's just ask that same question again. Turn off search. No, I think I've killed it. So we'd end up having just to go through it again. On these sorts of things, you'll find whenever the updates are coming through, we get these errors, and we know that the updates are coming through because obviously we've seen them coming through. So we know this is all to do with the new updates that are coming back to us. No, bad response. Refused. There we are. So, yep, it looks like you can do a basic web search and scrape. However, if it was me and I was looking to get hold of lots of different people, I would definitely use something like a Lusher database where you can go on and when you log in, you can then go through and say, for instance, if I go to the prospecting tool, I can choose the company or the company HQ zip code or where there's locations. So if I say Australia, oh, that did not pick it up. There we are. So I want Australia, and on the job title, if I put, I don't know, dentist. Have I spelled that wrong? Include dentist. That is clearly I've spelled that wrong. Oh, that's correct, isn't it? There we are. And there's every dentist in Australia. And then I can call up, here is, did not pick up countries. Oh, well, but it gives you the idea. Once you choose, I can then go in and find whoever this is, Jason, and there's email address, telephone number. I click show details, and now I've got the direct dial, mobile, and direct email address. So it just makes life a lot easier to do it that way. And then you save it into a list. And then once you've got the list, you export that and it just sends the list to your email. When you have that, you can then drop the database into GPT and then say, search each of these potential members' websites and write me an approach email to each one about them and why they should be a member. And now it's written all your emails for you and the approach on why they should be a member. I hope that, where are we? Lots of people saying bless you for my sneeze. Thank you very much. And then with new member suggestions, can you cross-check when? Yes. So cross-checking is really cool. You can essentially just drop in two databases and then say cross-reference and dedupe and create me a single database without any double ups. New Zealand has some amazing is Lusher AI. Lusher, not so much AI, it's big data. Essentially, the way Lusher works is they buy data streams. So these days, if anything's on the internet, it's stored by people and then sold. And Lusher buys all the streams from everywhere and combines them all. So if we go to prospecting again and let's say I'm looking for Woolworths, the nice thing is, because it cross-references all the different places, you can see the Chief Technology Officer of Woolworths.com. There is Mike Hoskins, landline, mobile, all the different things. But now I can actually check to see if he's still there simply by clicking. They give you a link to see their Woolworths app, and there he is. So I know he's still current. I know he's all the right things, what he's doing. And then now I know he's correct. I can then say, and I know he's on LinkedIn. I can say to, I need to get back to everyone. Oh no, it's sponsored. That's fine. I can now say to GPT, search LinkedIn for, you know, Matt Hoskins from Woolworths, and tell me what he's most interested in, and then use that to write the approach. And now I'm talking to him about the things he's most posted about most recently, and you can get that personalization of content done. I think we've got time for one more. We've run out of time, unfortunately. On these sorts of things, we always do, don't we? I think the best thing here is thank you so much for joining me this year. It's been a massive exponential growth of AI, and look where we are at the end of the year. Robots are launching. We have voice control. We have the ability to search and find members or sponsors and have customized. We've got interactive avatars. So it's getting seriously exciting now. It's getting to the point where we're going to be able to act as if we're 100 employees by ourselves. And that's going to be really exciting. It only leaves me to say, have a wonderful Christmas and holidays, and I look forward to sharing with you again when we all get back in late January, early February. Thanks again, everyone. Take care. Speak soon.